Hey everyone, this video is going to go over your lyric project assignment. So a couple quick things. We are going to be taking this week to work on this project. Now I know we're working from home a number of those days, so make sure you're checking in with the Buzz agenda and make sure you're keeping up with what we are working on each day so you don't fall behind. All right, so here's the assignment. Basically what you're doing is you're choosing a song, and I have a list of songs you can choose from on this presentation. You're choosing a song, you're deciding on the main theme, and then you are identifying the literary devices and figurative language found within that song. Now, if you, and this presentation is posted in your Buzz agenda, but if you take a look, here are some songs that have been done in the past, have been nominated, have been selected by teachers. So it's just a compiled list. There's also some more songs on the next slide. Again, you can access this whole presentation in Buzz. Now, if you sent me a song that you wanted to pursue and it's not on this list, I do have a spreadsheet where I've either approved or said, no, this song won't work either due to content or there just wasn't enough figurative language. So shoot me an email if you're not seeing the song that you wanted to do on this list. All right, now here's what your project's going to look like. So basically, you're going to have 7 slides. First slide, easy peasy lemon squeezy. All you're going to be doing is you're going to put the name of the song, name of the artist, and your name. The second slide is where you're going to put a link to your song lyrics and you're going to embed your video. Now, you may not know how to embed a video on Google Slides, so if you pull up this presentation and go to the example, it'll give you an explanation for how to set that up. All right, so that's slide 3. Slide 4, 5, and 6 is where you're going to give examples of figurative language. So this is hyperbole, simile, metaphor, idiom. So it's all the figurative language that we've been talking about recently. So that's going to be slide 4, 5, and 6. So each slide is going to have a different example of figurative language. All right, and then your final slide is going to be relevance. So this is going to be where you explain why this song is either relevant to you or important to you, so why you connect with the main message, or it could just be why it's important for people all over the place, or for teenagers, why is it relevant for people in general. So again, you can either tackle it from the standpoint of why it's relevant for you, or why it's relevant to teenagers, or why it's just relevant to people. All right, now on this presentation, there's an example. So what I've done is I've put together an example with the song Mirror Ball by Taylor Swift, and it'll walk through and show you what you need to do on each slide. So this is what I was talking about. It'll explain how to insert and embed your video directly onto your page. You're going to have your theme slide, and then you're going to have 3 slides. Each of those slides is going to talk about a different piece of figurative language that's found in the song. And then the relevance is where you explain why it's relevant, why it's important, why is this a good message for us to think about, to listen to a song that covers that message. So that's the basic setup of the project. Now, I do want to take a minute to go through how to come up with your theme, because that's going to be the first thing you're going to want to do, because then you're going to decide how each piece of figurative language contributes to that theme. So for this part of your project, you're going to want to reference the determining the theme of your song document. Now, if you're in Squad B, that means that you most likely, if you were present in class on Friday, you've already at least started this, but you can watch this as a quick refresher. If you're in Squad A, you probably have not done this yet. So take a minute, go ahead and click on where it says determining the theme of your song and make a copy of that document. So this is what the document looks like. Take a look over here. So it says, let's determine the theme of your song. And for this assignment, you're going to be working through the song, taking a look at the lyrics and deciding what big ideas are in the song, narrowing it down to a message that the song is getting across, which is going to be your theme. So the first thing you need to do is just state what the song title is. So what song have you chosen? Again, make sure you're referencing that list on the presentation. Put the artist of the song, and then I want you to actually go and copy and paste the lyrics themselves, not just the link to the lyrics themselves, because in this activity you're going to go and highlight and underline a couple things. Again, you can find what songs you are able to choose from by clicking on the presentation link. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll all the way down. Here, you're going to have 5 steps, so really 4. The 5th one is just checking to make sure you have a legit theme statement, but there's 4 steps that you're going to walk through to build your theme statement. So the first thing you're going to do on this document, and again, make sure you have your own copy so you can kind of follow along and do this, you're going to write down any big ideas that you've seen in the song. So like for example, we looked at The Danger of Silence in class, and that was a spoken word poem. And we said the main focus of that entire poem was silence. But there were some other big ideas present as well, such as guilt and justice and injustice. So we can list all of those, but then what you want to do is you want to decide on what idea is focused on the most. Now, if you're struggling with figuring out what big ideas are in your song, I've given you a list at the bottom of this document of some commonly found ideas in literature and in other places, such as songs, movies, so on and so forth. So like you'll see things like alienation, hope, power, love, loss, journey. So I would reference this list if you're having a hard time coming up with what ideas are present within your song. All right, so once you've decided on the big ideas, like I said, pick one to focus on. What I would do is just highlight it, bold it, whatever you want to do in step 1. Then you're going to highlight or underline where you see this idea mentioned in the poem. So this is where, if you copied and pasted your lyrics correctly, this is where you're going to go and actually mark it in the text. So again, using The Danger of Silence, if I said silence is the main idea, or one of the main focuses of this song, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to highlight anywhere I see silence mentioned throughout the words and the lyrics here. All right. Step 3 then is you're going to ask yourself, what does the author believe to be true about this big idea? So again, if I'm talking about silence, I'm going to ask myself, well, what does the poet, or in this case, in your case, the songwriter, believe to be true about this idea? So if the songwriter is writing about love, what do you think they believe about love? Do they believe that love, if people love each other, they're able to get through difficult times? Maybe. Or maybe they believe that love's not worth it. Okay, so this doesn't need to be super formal. You're just putting down what you think the songwriter believes to be true about the big idea in your song that you're focusing on. And then step 4, this is where we're tidying up our theme statement. So this is where you're making sure you follow all of the requirements listed in step 5. So you don't want to use you or I or reference the songwriter. You want to make sure that whatever you put down is an observation about human life that's supported by evidence in the song, but also evidence in life or in other works. So if it only applies to the song that you're referencing, that's not a good theme, right? You want to make sure that it actually addresses something that is true about human nature, about society. All right. There's a couple other things to go through to make sure that you have a good theme statement. So make sure it's clear and concise. If it's too wordy or confusing, it's going to water down what you're trying to say. Make sure it is not too obvious, and you want it to be something that really gets people to think. So it should be an interesting idea or concept. All right, if you need help with this, make sure you're asking either through email or asking me when I see you in class next. My goal is the next time I see you to go through theme statements with everybody and to kind of look at everybody's theme. Now, if you get this done and you want to work ahead on the slides, feel free to do so. So I would say if you want to work on slides 1, 2, if you have your theme statement, you can also do slide 3. That's fine. Later in the week, we're going to focus on figuring out what figurative language is in your song and then putting those slides, those 3 slides where you focus on figurative language together. All right, that's all I got for us today. If you have any questions, make sure you're letting me know. Have a great rest of your day.